Do you want early access? Do you want uncut reactions? If so, then check out our Patreon. Link in the description down below. Alrighty. Well, last episode was pretty hype. I mean, Jesus. Finally slaying the demon.
I think I figured out what it is about this show. I have a weird thing with this show so far. I really like all the episodes we've watched. And for some reason, I don't get, like, super stoked to watch the next one in between. And it's not that it's, like, I don't think I'm going to enjoy the next one or anything. It's just, like, I think it's because they actually have the courtesy to not cliffhanger the shit out of you at the end of episode. So you actually get, like, a complete story in each one.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's the addictive formula of most TV and anime and everything nowadays where it keeps you wanting to binge it by cliffhangering the crap out of you at the end of every episode.
You know what? I think you're right. Now that you said that, I'm noticing that pattern.
Yeah.
Huh.
So, like, it's a very good show, and it's just, it's weird to not have that basically forced on you where you feel like you got to watch the next one and see what happens next, you know, because you're pretty satisfied.
Oh my gosh,
you're pretty satisfied at the end of each episode. So
yeah,
it's kind of like that, I guess. It's kind of been the same thing with The Witcher, but it's just like something about The Witcher. I just always want to go back to that universe very badly because it's an addictive universe in itself.
Well,
like it made me like start playing the first game, and I've gone further than I ever gotten in the first game just because I just like that universe, and like seeing more of it has made me want more of it.
Also, you modded the shit out of the game to make it look and pretty damn good.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like super impressive. It doesn't
well,
look like
no,
a
I mean,
game
it's
or
still
it looks
limited
better
by
than
the engine it's in.
Looks better than it did.
Well, yeah. The skybox thing you added was awesome.
Oh, yeah, the sky's beautiful in it now.
Yeah, and also, didn't you add the toss a coin to your Witcher thing?
Yeah, it's supposed to be in there somewhere. I haven't found any bards to sing it to me yet, but yeah, it's supposed to be in there somewhere where they'll sing the song to you at a point.
Toss a coin to your Witcher.
So I'm in the second chapter right now, and the second chapter is even longer than the first one, it seems like. So,
well, yeah, that's one thing about those games is that they're very long and very arduous, and you know, you got to play them a lot in order to beat
by
them.
second, I don't mean like the prologue, like the Kaer Morhen part, but I mean like I did the Kaer Morhen part, then the whole first chapter that comes after that,
and
now I'm in Vizima, and this part seems to have like even more to do than it did like outside, so it's like growing exponentially, it seems like, with each chapter. So it's gonna be a while before I finish it, but I plan to try to finish it this time. So it's pretty enjoyable, and like it's gotten more enjoyable. Like I was following this guide, and it's one of the only good guides for it, but the guy who wrote it, like, nothing against him or anything, but his play style is to grind the living shit out of the game to make it easy enough for you to do all the fights and stuff. Whereas there are a lot of tools in The Witcher, like potions and like blade oils and stuff like that to make fights easier. And he wanted me to grind from level like 11 to 15, which would have taken probably like hours and hours and hours of just killing the same 3 things over and over again. I wasn't super down for that, so I just started looking at the alchemy systems and everything a little closer myself and got the hang of it from where it's at, and I was like, all right, yeah, I'm just gonna go.
And then you were and then you showed me the other night you were at almost level 15.
Yeah, like I'd almost caught up, but it's like I was supposed to be level 15 before I started doing all the quests that I'd been doing, like, according to his guide, but I was just like, nah, fuck that.
Yeah, you were just like, I want to kill things.
Yeah, I was like, I'll make a potion if I start having problems and do what I have to do, but
well,
I'm not down for killing these things in this tomb 85 billion times.
Yeah,
it's been a pretty fun game though, so I like it.
That's good.
Yeah, like this is set in a part of Japan where I have already totally shoved into my eyeballs and ears like so many things related to it. I really enjoy it. Like I love like Neo, and Sekiro and Dynasty Warriors. Like I've seen so many things that are in this era that it's not like it's a world that like is addictive in itself anymore, because I've already just kind of oversaturated my brain with it.
Yeah.
So I think it's wise. Like it's a very, very good show. It just doesn't have that addiction factor like a lot of other shows do.
All right.
That makes sense. So I just thought about it, and I think that's why. Because I was talking to you about the other day about how it's like, yeah, I enjoy it every time we watch it. For some reason, I'm just like not like itching to like go watch the next one at any given point for some reason, but I don't know why, but that's why I think.
All right.
So
well, I mean, hopefully, as we continue this show, I mean, the more we continue it, you'll you'll enjoy it, and you'll be able to get more engrossed into it. But I'm in.
I mean, I honestly
I'm all
think
in.
that it's better for a show to actually just stand on its own without having to resort to like those
cheap cliffhangers.
Kinda, cheap and addictive like methods to keep people hooked, you know.
So,
Bleach. Yeah. Naruto straight up did that the other night, where I was like, "All right, we got to watch one more episode," because the way that episode ended, and then it did the same fucking thing at the end of the next episode. I was like, I gotta go to bed. We just gotta. Hopefully, I don't die before next time we get to watch this, or I'm gonna be mad. We'll be up in heaven being like, God, you have to show me what happened and ship it in, or I'm gonna be mad.
And then, of course, there's also the whole thing with them not having the dub readily available to you.
Yeah, that's annoying.
But
yeah, they cut it off like all of a sudden when they start to explain some major shit about Itachi.
But we also we also found a workaround for that. Nick might there might be a workaround for Nick.
Yeah, I have a plan, so we'll figure it out.
All right.
Anyways.
Well, let's get into Demon Slayer. This is episode 5, My Own Steel. So here we go.
Sounds like a Judas Priest song or something.
My Own Steel, yeah.
Or an Iron
I
Maiden
slay
song.
the demon with my own steel.
Yeah. Orokodaki?
Yep. This is when he caught him. Oh. Yo. Woo! Come at him the same way. Yeet! And just like that, your head has been removed.
How else did you think you were gonna die as a demon?
Is he remembering who he was before? Oh. Oh, a path to redemption.
この人が今度生まれてくる時は鬼になんてなりませんように。兄ちゃん、兄ちゃん、兄ちゃん。しょうがねえな。
Give him a path to redemption.
The demon had a family. I know, they're next.
Oh, God. Easy there, Badger. It's all of them.
サビとマコモ、勝ったよ。もう安心していいよ。
He set them free.
鬼になった人を元に戻すにはどうしたらいいんだ。
It's gonna be harder than that to get that answer.
Yeah, it will be. He's pretty just gonna slay all the demons on the mountain before he even have a chance to go out the 7 days.
藤の花。
Huh.
切り抜けた。
Guess that means he made it like all the way to the other side of the place.
Maybe so. Only 4.
たった4人。20人くらいいたのに。あの人もいない。
He probably got killed.
俺が気絶なんてしたから。
I mean, you saved him as best as you could.
結局死ぬわ。俺。
I figured that was just the first night, but I guess that's the whole 7 days.
体の寸法を測り、その後は階級を刻ませていただきます。今現在皆様は一番下の水の戸でございます。
刀は
本日刀を作る鋼、玉鋼を選んでいただきますが、1かかります。
んだよ。
その前に
It's a sword, bro.
Neat.
ガラス。
カスガイガラスは主に連絡用のカラスでございます。
カラス？どうでもいいんだよ、カラスなんて。
I care.
色変わりの刀。
Let her go.
ああ、この子から手を離せ。離さないなら折る。やってみろよ。
You asked for it.
Oh.
こちらから
玉鋼
玉鋼を選んでくださいませ。
How are they supposed to know the difference?
どう選べばいいんだろう。玉鋼なんて初めて見るし、
That's what I'm
見
thinking.
た目には全然判断つかないよ。
Guess it's like Harry Potter, the Or chooses you, maybe?
全然わかんねえ。
The heavier it is, the more iron it contains.
5人も生き残ったのかい。優秀だね。また
Wow, I
私
thought there
の
were
子供
4.
たちが増えた。
会話できる状態じゃなかった。
Well,
問答無用で
you gotta
殺そう
remember
としてくる
those.
し。
These are like low-level demons.
He talked to the one big guy for a minute.
Whereas I guarantee if he comes across a
支給服すら重い。一刻も早く帰りたいのに。
well, everyone needs to rest, kid. Hey, he made it.
着いた。
Mm.
Nezuko!
She's awake.
ああ、ネズコ。ネズコ。
Ow. Oh, that's sweet.
死ぬかと思っただろうが。
Orochidaki's just like, holy hell, he made it back. Oh,
よく生きて戻っ
he's crying!
た用の鬼をやったか。
はい。
ついにな。血気術という特殊な術を使う鬼は異能の鬼だ。今後はそのような鬼とも戦うことになるだろ
ネズコは他の鬼と違うと思うんですけど、もしかしてそのなんとか術なんですか？
う。憶測だが、禰豆子は人の血肉を食らう代わりに眠ることで体力を回復しているのかもしれない。
Hmm. Oh, well.
俺は鋼塚というものだ。かまど炭治郎の刀を打ち持参した。
中へどうぞ。
これが日輪刀だ。俺が打った刀だ。
お茶入れますから中へ。
日輪刀の原料は太陽に一番近い山で取れる。それで日の光を吸収する鉄ができる。相変わらず人の話を聞かぬ男だな。
Yo.
ああ、お前、伯爵の子じゃねえか。頭の毛と面倒は赤みがかっているだろう。火仕事をする家はそういう子が生まれると縁起がいいって喜ぶんだぜ。
そうなんですか。知りませんでした。
さあさあ、抜いてみな。日輪刀は別名色変わりの刀と言ってな。持ち主によって色が変わるのよ。
Black.
Ooh.
Oh, that's cool.
Hopefully that's not a bad sign.
I don't think it is. Hey, easy.
Oh shit. That's what I'm thinking. Damn.
Just like that. That's right, kid. Okay.
Hell yeah.
All right.
It's a very cool looking sword that way.
No, yeah. Reminds me of something one of the swords Zoro has.
Just like the tack steel stuff that we have nowadays, you know.
Oh yeah. You know, the powder coated black. Like, for instance, I'd love to see a blade that's like Vanta black.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah. Sort of like the Dark Saber. You ever seen the Dark Saber?
Yeah. So.
Love the look of that sword. Love the look of it.
I've seen it recently, actually.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I know where.
Yeah, just don't want to say it in case anybody hasn't watched that show yet.
Oh god.
Shit. Fuck. I'll try to censor myself saying that. Like, it's a spoiler kind of.
No, it's fine.
Kind of a major spoiler.
Well,
for
we didn't say which show.
It's pretty fucking obvious though. Something recent related to that, you know.
It's in multiple shows though, man.
I know, but
if you want to censor it, I mean, it's on you. I mean, I'll just make a clap noise so you'll know, hey, something happened there. So, yeah.
Or I'll forget and leave it in, and then my bad. If you haven't watched it yet, go watch it. What are you waiting for?
So, yeah, the dude said 5. As many as 5 of them managed to survive.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know if that's a misquote or, like you said, if there was someone there or if there was someone else there
that we didn't
see or didn't notice or something like that. I don't know.
Either that or someone else got there way before. No. They said they had to survive for 7 days, so it wouldn't make sense for somebody else to get there before them. It might have been like someone else got there like right after them, like or something, right after they left.
Yeah. And then of course Nezuko just yeeting the door right open.
Mm-hmm.
Just yeesh.
Just kicked it out and kicked the door down.
She's just like
Rokudaki's probably like, I have to fix that now.
He's just like, damn it, girl, why do you have to be so rude? And then all of a sudden she sees Tanjiro and she's just like, my bruh, and just runs up and gives him a big old hug. So yeah, Demon Slayer, I am like, he's got his first assignment, and it seems like it's a doozy of a first assignment. I mean, he's going to a town where a bunch of young girls are disappearing. I mean, damn.
He's a witcher now.
Toss a coin to your witcher. Well, Demon Slayer can also be like, you could do like a crude translation of a witcher into like a Demon Slayer. You could, you could sort of.
They're not really necessarily killing demons most of the time, but they do kill some demons, I think. I think there are demons in The Witcher.
Well, I think they're creatures more along the lines of. They're like mythological creatures. They're mostly
magical infused creatures.
Which, if you think about it, demons themselves are mythological creatures.
And like he says, he has 2 swords. It's like, oh, I heard Witchers carry 2 swords, one for people and one for monsters. And he's like, both are for monsters.
Well, yeah, because
there are monsters hiding in human form as well.
Yeah, certain monsters are like susceptible to steel, whereas most monsters are susceptible to silver. That's
Well, no, what he's saying is that men can be monsters.
Oh
as well.
yeah. Well,
And
of
the
course
steel
that
sword
too.
is for men who are also monsters, basically. So
Yeah,
like
well,
rapists and just general pieces of shit.
that is understood, and yeah, those types of people are monsters, no doubt about it. That being said, though, I mean, Geralt is like that's traditional like European lore, whereas this is like traditional Japanese lore, and I gotta be honest, I would rather have a katana over a longsword because katanas not only their craftsmanship is a lot better, but also just I don't know, katanas to me seem more practical because you can draw them quickly and they have they did a head-to-head like clash between a tradition built Japanese katana and a tradition built like European longsword, and the katana won every time. In terms of durability, cutting ability, practicality. The only thing
The way they forge katanas is kind of like different than the way that they forge like European swords and stuff. So,
well, yeah, European swords.
like,
I mean,
even though the blade's so thin, they make that thing stupid durable with the forging techniques that they use for it.
well, yeah, they use carbon diffusion. Carbon diffusion is the layering effect.
Yeah,
The
it's like layers of iron or steel like folded in on each other like a whole lot of times, like over and over again.
And not only that, but there's also
there's like the
but
techniques that they actually use to temper it when it's done as well.
well, yeah, there's that, and then there's also two different types of steel in the Japanese katana. The one type of steel, which is the edge, is the tamahagane. That is the hard steel. That is like the steel that is is destined to be for cutting. And then wrapped around it at the back of it, around the hilt, or around the the base of the sword, is shingane, which is a very soft steel, which is made for to absorb impacts a lot easier because you have to have rigidity on the cutting edge, but you also have to have durability on the outer edge, so it can absorb the hits and everything.
Yeah.
And also, like you said, the way they temper the sword. I actually watched this British guy who is a blacksmith go to this traditional Japanese blacksmith, and I was apprenticed for him for a couple days, and they made a sword, and at the end of it, like the Japanese smith was just like that's very, very good. You did very, very good. And the guy said, "Well, how would you rate my sword? Like the sword that I was like in full control of?" And the Japanese swordmaster was just like 7 out of 10. to which he's just like, and he's like, "To you, that's really good." He's like, "Oh yes, I've never made a perfect sword. I have never ever 100% made a perfect sword. There's always one imperfection or something about it that just isn't right, and it's that pursuit of perfection that drives me forward." He said, but for your first time to do a 7 out of 10, it just shows that you love working with steel. And the reason why I know this stuff is because I watched that, and I also watched the Man at Arms where they did the Hattori Hanzo katana. Did you see that one? It's beautiful.
He's done a couple katanas that way.
Yeah, he did the Chinese Dendao sword, which is like a prototype for a katana, and then they also did the one for honor. I forget exactly what that one was called, but I just remember.
I think they might have made Kenshin's reverse blade at one point too.
That's right.
Yeah.
I do remember that. And they found difficulty with that because how do you craft a blade that is curved in reverse?
Mm.
And they figured it out though. They were able to do it. But overall, man, I like Japanese swordsmiths and the legacy of the katana. I don't think there's a greater sword legacy out there other than the Japanese katana. I mean, people can talk about the Viking swords or the Chinese long sword or stuff like that, but to me, a country as isolated as Japan to come up with probably the most prolific and the most durable sword out there.
And it's just like super unique compared to a lot of the other swords in the world too.
Yeah, most swords are double-edged, straight as an arrow, and are traditionally like very long. For instance, the Scottish claymore or the German broadsword. Even the only one I can even the rapier as well, the French rapier, which is pretty much it's very thin and very nimble, and it's meant to poke you full of holes really quickly.
Yeah.
Versus, a claymore, which is just made to cut your head off. The katana effectively can be used for either, because not only is it sharp enough and durable enough to cut your head off, but it's also, you could also move quickly enough with it with enough training to where you could effectively disable your opponent with precise strikes.
And see, like, I don't know, like nearly as much as I could about swords and stuff, but it's just like I've held a lot of swords that are supposed to be like technically like real swords that are forged in an efficient manner and stuff.
Yes.
And like I've held like a claymore, which is fucking heavy. Like,
yeah.
I don't think I would.
I have too.
You wouldn't probably be using one of those unless you're a buff ass dude. But like. And I've held, like traditional long swords. I've got to hold a rapier and stuff. And it's just, hands down, out of the actual swords that I've held, katanas just feel the most, like, natural for some reason. Like, there's something about them, and it's just the weight and the balance to it. It's just like, I could see that becoming an extension of my body a lot quicker than any of the others that I've held. You know what I mean?
A lot of people say that has to do with the heart of the sword. And the effective nature of the black, because keep in mind, katanas weren't mass produced up until like the industrial era, and even then they didn't have the care and love put into them that old swordsmiths put in. It was a big thing for you to have a sword made. For instance, whenever a samurai was hired by a family to protect their land, that family would usually have a katana made for that samurai, and that samurai would be charged with it, and it would belong to the samurai for the rest of his life, or at least up until he finished his charge working for the family. And then he would either give the sword back, or the family would gift the sword to him in his retirement. And you see that's something I've found just... I find it amazing that is, like, more swords like that are, like, Japanese swords have been preserved as heirlooms throughout history, versus where in the hell is William Wallace's claymore? Where in the hell is, like, King George's sword, or Edward Longshanks' sword, or any of these other big swords that have a place in European history? They don't exist anymore because they've either been lost to history or they've been melted down and destroyed.
Or even like they didn't necessarily have the same sword like all that time. They would just use whatever sword they were handed,
Exactly.
Like,
and that's
whereas like a katana was usually forged for a person, and that was their sword pretty much.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right.
It's kind of like the legends we put in like all the fantasy stuff, where like characters like always have their sword and it's like their signature weapon,
Yeah.
And that's a lot more real in Japanese culture than it was in like the European cultures and like other places that use blades like that. It's mostly like, I need a weapon. Someone tosses them with a scimitar, like it's like, thank you, like as opposed to like,
something.
In Japan, it's like, all right, let's go. Here's my katana. I'm ready. Like,
yeah,
you're not gonna just be like, I need a weapon. It's like, I have my weapon always.
Yeah,
with me. So.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this was Demon Slayer Episode 5, My Own Steel. Hopefully you all enjoyed it, and hopefully you will continue to enjoy this series with us. Once again, if you're seeing this on YouTube, the version you're watching here does not contain footage. Reason for that is because Sony Music of Japan is being a real dick. So if you want to see the version that has footage contained in it, links are in the description down below. And you'll see that all throughout the video. But just in case you're wondering and you're here at the end of the video asking and you're wanting to ask why, here you are. So again, everybody, thank you all very much for your support, and thank you to all of our patrons who are supporting us with this. And also, if you want to watch the full version of this, check out our Patreon. I mean, it's right down there in the description. And I guess until next time, everybody, signing off, I'm Nate.
I'm Nick.
And we'll see you then. Peace out.